What would happen if an invisible monster was growing in the heart of the universe and no one could stop it? You've heard of black holes. They devour light, time, and space. But there's one that goes much further. It doesn't just defy scientific understanding, it defies the very logic of reality. Its name is Phoenix A, and it shouldn't exist. Its mass is so absurd, so disproportionate, that it challenges everything we think we know about the formation of the cosmos. And most disturbing of all, it keeps growing. Imagine something so colossal that it could swallow hundreds of star systems without leaving a trace. Now imagine that something expanding, feeding faster and faster, as if it were in a hurry, as if it had a purpose. Phoenix A is a gravitational abyss of impossible proportions, hidden in the middle of the supercluster of the same name. Billions of solar masses compressed into a single point. It emits extreme radiation, distorts neighboring galaxies, and alters the structure of space around it. But the most disturbing question is not how it came to be. It is, why is he growing like this? And where could this lead us? What if this cosmic colossus was preparing for something that science cannot yet even model? Now, I want to know about you. In your opinion, is Phoenix A a flaw in the equations of physics? Or a sign that there is something much bigger that we don't yet understand? He leaves his hypothesis here in the comments. The craziest answers could open space for theories that don't even exist yet, because what follows is not theory, it's data, and some of it suggests that this black hole isn't just growing. It may be indicating a whole new category of cosmic phenomena that goes beyond anything we know. Science tried to ignore it, telescopes were slow to notice it, but now it's there, brighter than ever, emitting signals we can't decipher, and that raises a new question. Did the universe try to hide Phoenix A from us? Phoenix A is not just another black hole in the cosmic catalogue. It represents a limit that has been surpassed by physics as we know it. Located at the heart of the Phoenix supercluster, this black hole contains a mass equivalent to approximately 100 billion suns. It is important to understand what this means. For comparison, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, Sagittarius A, has about 4 million solar masses. Phoenix A is therefore more than 20,000 times larger. It is not just big, it is disproportionate to the known universe, to the time available for its formation, and to the processes that, according to current models, make a black hole possible. Its presence was inferred based on the intense radiation it emits, especially in X-rays, and the abnormal gravitational behavior of the galaxies around it. Phoenix A dominates its environment, sucking in matter with a force that is beyond that observed in typical supermassive black holes. Science believes that after a certain point, these giants tend to stabilize, becoming satiated by consuming everything in their vicinity. But Phoenix A ignores this pattern. It continues to grow at a rate that simply should not be possible. The question is, what's fueling it? Is there enough material around it to account for this growth? Or are we looking at a phenomenon that we haven't yet been able to measure properly? The fact that it's in a supercluster may explain part of the process. There is plenty of matter available in such dense structures, but even so, the numbers are off the charts. This suggests that something else may be going on. An unusual gravitational instability, an unknown type of matter, or even a flaw in our models of black hole evolution. But this dynamic hides a consequence that few people know about, and that could cast doubt on the very timeline of the universe as we believe we know it. Phoenix A is so colossal that its very existence poses a direct threat to the foundations of modern cosmology. The reason is simple and baffling. The universe hasn't had enough time to create something like it. According to standard models of black hole formation, even under the most favorable conditions, such as the collapse of massive stars, galactic mergers, and prolonged accretion of matter, an object with 100 billion solar masses could not have formed in the 13.8 billion years since the Big Bang. The math just doesn't add up. Some scientists have tried to fit Phoenix A into the category of so-called primordial black holes, structures that would have formed moments after the birth of the universe, even before the first stars. But even these hypotheses have their limits. No current predictions for primordial black holes suggest such high masses or such rapid growth. This puts Phoenix A in a unique position. It doesn't fit into any known category. It's like a strange body in the system, something that escaped the rules that govern cosmic formation. The more disturbing alternative is that our own equations are incomplete. The existence of Phoenix A may be signaling that there is a structural flaw in models of the evolution of the universe. Perhaps current physics is ignoring variables that only manifest themselves at extreme scales. There may be forces, particles, or events that we have not yet detected or that we have simply misinterpreted. And that raises an uncomfortable question. If this colossus shouldn't be here, what else is out there that defies everything we think we know? There is an invisible connection between this enigma and something even more profound. The possibility that the very beginning of the universe, as it has been formulated to date, needs to be rethought from scratch. Phoenix A went unnoticed for far longer than it should have. Not for lack of technology, but because it was hiding behind one of the most effective disguises in the cosmos, its own heat. The Phoenix supercluster, where it resides, is enveloped by dense layers of superheated gas, emitting intense X-ray radiation that obscures and scrambles the usual signals we use to detect black holes. For decades, astronomical instruments recorded these emissions, but they didn't realize that behind them was something much larger. The discovery of Phoenix A was only possible when astronomers began combining data from multiple observatories, especially X-ray telescopes and gravitational distortion detectors. It was these anomalies in the surrounding space that began to attract attention. Distorted galaxies, warped light curves, and a gravity that seemed to be pulling with extraordinary force. This was no ordinary black hole. It was something that was warping space on such vast scales that it was affecting entire structures in the cluster. The most intriguing thing is that there was not a single moment of revelation. The image of Phoenix A was gradually formed, like a puzzle that nature itself seemed reluctant to show complete. The cosmic camouflage made by the superhot gas not only hid its presence, but also protected its real identity. For a long time, scientists thought they were observing just one active cluster, until the data aligned and what emerged was a monster. What if this concealment is not just a coincidence? Are there others like him, hiding in the same way? Perhaps the universe is full of such entities, masked behind curtains of energy that we are only now beginning to pierce through. And what we find behind the next layer may be even harder to explain. Now that you've seen how Phoenix A managed to remain hidden for so long, even though it's absurdly gigantic, tell me one thing. What if there are others like it, that we haven't even been able to detect yet? Could we be looking directly at regions of the universe where colossal entities are camouflaging themselves behind phenomena that science doesn't yet know how to interpret? Comment below. Do you think the universe is hiding something on purpose? Or is it just that we don't yet know how to look for it? As you ponder this, consider this. Phoenix A isn't just sitting there in space, it's constantly active, and the rate at which it's growing has scientists baffled. The question that is increasingly nagging is, what is fueling this cosmic monster on a scale that defies all predictions? Supermassive black holes tend to grow in a certain way. Once they reach a certain size, the amount of matter available around them decreases, and they tend to stabilize. But Phoenix A refuses to follow this script. It's growing too fast. The latest records indicate that its feeding rate is disproportionate even for active black holes. The matter around it isn't just being sucked in. It appears to be being drained away in an accelerating and continuous process. Entire galaxies simply disappear from the gravitational map once they cross a certain distance from its influence. And most disturbingly, this frenetic consumption is not slowing down over time. Quite the contrary. The energy density in the region around Phoenix A is increasing, suggesting that it is not just gobbling up ordinary matter, but perhaps feeding on more complex structures, interstellar gases, galactic nuclei, and possibly even dark matter, or something we have yet to identify. This pattern of behavior is more reminiscent of an expanding organism than an inert object in the cosmos. And it raises an unsettling question. Could Phoenix A be responding to some kind of external stimulus? Conventional astrophysics offers no concrete explanation. No model predicts that a black hole could maintain this pace without unstable consequences. But Phoenix A is there, huge, hungry, defying all statistics. What is behind this gravitational anomaly is still beyond human comprehension. But one thing is certain. Something is amplifying this process, something that science has yet to identify, but that is pushing the boundaries of the observable universe. The uncontrolled growth pattern observed in Phoenix A points to a phenomenon that may be altering the dynamics of large regions of the cosmos, which raises an inevitable question. Could this behavior affect other distant structures, including those closer to our galaxy? And what does this say about our own fate in the universe? Despite the colossal distance between us and Phoenix A, billions of light years, its size and behavior raise a previously absurd hypothesis that its gravitational influence may reach scales far greater than that of any other black hole yet recorded. In simple terms, a black hole acts like a gravitational anchor, distorting the space around it and pulling in everything within reach. In the case of Phoenix A, this anchor appears to be stretching the very fabric of the universe. The cosmic web, the massive network of galaxies and dark matter that connects the cosmos, is sensitive to gravitational imbalances. If Phoenix A continues to grow at this rate, its mass could, in theory, begin to distort nearby regions of the web itself, affecting the behavior of superclusters that, on larger scales, are related to our own. This doesn't mean that we're being sucked into it directly, but rather that it could indirectly influence the collective motion of large swathes of the universe, including our own. There is still a disturbing question. Could this black hole be interfering with the geometry of space on a scale that we cannot even measure? Theoretical simulations indicate that if its mass continues to increase, it could create a distortion so large that it would alter the trajectory of entire regions of the cosmos. We are talking about forces capable of reconfiguring the direction of the cosmic flow, redirecting superclusters, and even interfering with zones of apparently stable gravitational equilibrium. For now, scientists say we are safe. But that safety is based on the current limits of our observation. The problem is that the universe we see is only a fraction of what is really out there. What if we are already, without realizing it, being slowly pulled inward? Not by direct action, but by a curvature in space-time itself that we have not yet been able to detect. What if, at this very moment, we are moving towards something much larger than we imagine, without any control over it? When science is faced with something it cannot explain, two things happen. Either it seeks a new equation, or it has to admit that it is faced with something that completely escapes the current model of the universe. And that is exactly what is beginning to happen with Phoenix A. Some of the most respected physicists are already admitting that in order to understand this entity, it may be necessary to consider ideas that, until recently, were relegated to the border between science fiction and theoretical speculation. One of the boldest hypotheses is that Phoenix A is not a conventional black hole, but rather a kind of gravitational bridge between different regions of the universe, or even between different universes. In other words, an interdimensional portal. This theory is based on the fact that its mass and behavior do not align with any previously observed pattern. It appears to violate fundamental limits, such as the growth rate predicted by models of matter accretion. Another possibility is that Phoenix A is composed of an as-yet unknown exotic type of matter that behaves completely differently from ordinary matter or even traditional dark matter. This substance could not only fuel the abnormal growth of the black hole, but also cause distortions in space-time that we do not yet know how to measure. Some theories suggest that black holes like this could be related to gravitational knots, regions where space-time bends irreversibly and creates rupture points between different realities. There are also those who believe that Phoenix A may be a remnant of a universe before ours, a kind of cosmic vestige that survived a previous cycle of the cosmos. This idea connects with the theory of the cyclical universe, where everything we know has happened before and will happen again. If Phoenix A really is a fragment of a previous cycle, it would indicate that our universe may not be the first nor the last. But if all this is true, if this black hole is more than just a crazy concentration of mass, what exactly does it represent? Are we observing a glitch in current physics, or are we about to discover a new type of cosmic entity that completely rewrites what we understand as reality? If Phoenix A really is linked to hidden dimensions, exotic matter, or echoes from a previous universe, we may be looking at something that doesn't fit into any theory, not even the most ambitious ones. And that raises an inevitable question. How many other anomalies like this are hidden all around us, waiting to be discovered? Or rather, how many have already been seen but not yet understood? Now I want to hear from you. What crazy, dark, or unbelievable theory about the universe has ever crossed your mind? Comment below. It could be something that no one else believes, or a hypothesis that no one has had the courage to say out loud. The most intriguing ideas could inspire a new video here on the channel. If Phoenix A continues to grow at this abnormal rate, the gravitational effects would no longer be local. In theoretical simulations conducted by astrophysicists, black holes with this level of mass and acceleration could trigger gravitational collapses in neighboring regions, altering the structure and motion of entire galaxies. The cosmic web, the vast tangle of filaments that connect galaxy clusters, would begin to deform, distorting the dynamic equilibrium that holds the universe together on a large scale. In this scenario, the uncontrolled growth of a supermassive black hole like Phoenix A could destabilize gravitational fields between galaxy clusters, creating disruption waves that would propagate structural imbalances. This could force galaxies to collide, be thrown out of their original clusters, or even be slowly absorbed by the growing gravitational well. This is not fiction. These scenarios are projected into cosmological models by scientists trying to understand the impact of such outlandish entities. Time and space around such a black hole would be severely distorted. The phenomenon known as time dilation, where time slows down in strong gravitational fields, would become so intense that a region around Phoenix A could become frozen from the perspective of the rest of the universe. And this would not only limit our ability to observe it, it could create cosmic bubbles where the laws of time and physics would no longer work as we know them. There's no evidence yet that Phoenix A is about to do something of this magnitude, but the fact that we're even modeling these possibilities says a lot. Scientists aren't trying to predict the end of the universe, they were trying to understand how far these forces can go before they shatter everything we know as reality. And the question that begins to haunt the simulations is even more disturbing. What if Phoenix A is just a visible example of something that is happening in many corners of the universe at the same time. If Phoenix A already challenges everything we know about the formation of black holes, the mere possibility that there are others like it, or even bigger ones, completely changes our perspective on the universe. Observable space is just a fraction of an unknown whole, and the methods we use to detect cosmic structures still depend on the light that reaches us. But what if there are entities so massive, so distorted, that not even light can escape them? Not only would they be hidden, they would be completely out of our sensory reach. This idea is not far-fetched. The cosmic microwave background itself shows that there are regions where matter seems to disappear, where gravity behaves anomalously, and where conventional mapping simply fails. Some scientists suggest that these spots could be hiding supermassive black holes similar to Phoenix A, entities that have never emitted enough radiation to attract attention, or that are so distant that their signals have not yet reached us. If this is true, we are only scratching the surface of a reality much denser and more chaotic than we can imagine. What's more, if Phoenix A is not an isolated case, the distribution of matter in the universe may be influenced by an invisible network of super black holes that act as gravitational anchor points. This means that what we currently interpret as stable structures may actually be a system in constant motion, guided by hidden and silent forces. Are we really observing the past when we look into deep space, or are we being slowly pulled back by something we can't yet understand? The light we see today originated billions of years ago, but gravity, that invisible, persistent force, may be connecting our present to destinations we can't yet see. If other Phoenix A's exist, the question is no longer whether we are safe, but whether we are already within the field of influence of one of them, slowly being directed towards a destiny that not even current science is capable of deciphering. You have just learned about one of the greatest enigmas of the universe, something that science itself is still trying to understand. And this type of content is not for everyone. It is for those who truly seek what lies beyond, for those who are not satisfied with easy answers. So, share this video now with that person who is also driven by cosmic curiosity, the one who questions, the one who imagines, the one who feels that there is more out there than what we can see. Let's spread this fascination for the unknown and bring more restless minds into this conversation. Phoenix A is not just a cosmic freak. It is a reminder that, no matter how much we advance with science, we are still surrounded by zones of complete ignorance. The presence of something so colossal, growing at the heart of the universe, forces an uncomfortable question. Are we prepared for what we cannot yet see or understand? With each new discovery, it becomes clearer that the universe does not follow our rules. It hides secrets that defy logic, physics, and perhaps even the very concept of reality. And when even light is swallowed, what is left is the unknown, waiting to be revealed. So if you want to continue exploring these enigmas with the seriousness, fascination, and depth they deserve, activate the bell and subscribe to the channel now. Here, each video is more than information. It is an invitation to think differently, question the obvious, and expand what you believe you know about the cosmos. And if you feel like there's still something in the air, a question that hasn't been answered, click on the video that's appearing on your screen now. What you'll find there could change your view of everything that seems stable.